Hello learners, welcome to NIOS. Today we will study part 6 of the chapter 3, Modern World. Our topic for today is unification of European countries. This is a very interesting topic and I hope you will enjoy watching this video. Learners, as you know that in our last video we discussed about the French Revolution and the events that took place during this. We learned that French society was divided into 3 classes. The church, the nobles, and the common people. We also came to know that the ideas of equality, liberty, and fraternity were given to the world by this revolution. We will now study about the unification of 2 European countries, Italy and Germany, one by one. Learners, can you recognize the famous structure that is situated in Italy? This is the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Do you know that this tower is not standing straight? As you can see, it is tilted in one direction. You will be surprised to know that the Tower of Pisa was constructed over a period of 199 years. Let us now learn about the unification of Italy. Do you know that Italy was divided into many states during the 18th century? Few of the states' names were Venetia, the second is Sardinia, the third is Tuscany, the fourth is Sicily, etc. During the Middle Ages, the Pope increased his power and started to interfere in political as well as religious matters. Do you know who was Pope? Pope was a leader of Catholic Church all over the world. As Christian religion spread across Europe, the Pope became a very powerful man and he ruled over the states of the church. These were the regions in Italy which were directly ruled by the Pope from the 8th century to the year 1870. We have seen in the earlier lesson that Renaissance started in Italy. Therefore, Italy became a very important country of Europe. The French Revolution of the year 1789 frightened the Italian rulers as they thought that the common people of their country might revolt against them. Slowly, the feeling of forming an independent and unified Italy developed among the people of Italy. Dear learners, do you know about the names of Mazzini and another name Garibaldi? Do you know these names before? They were Italian revolutionaries who spread the ideas of unifying Italy among the people of Italian states. You can see their picture on the screen. The process of Italian unification or uniting all the Italian states into one country was started by Victor Emmanuel. He was the ruler of Piedmont, Sardinia. Which was a state in Italy. The process of Italian unification began with the Congress of Vienna. In the year 1815 and was completed in 1871. When all the Italian states were unified into one country and Rome became its capital. Learners, can you recognize the picture on your screen? This is a photo of Count Cavour. Count Cavour, who played an important role in the unification of Italy and became the first prime minister of unified state of Italy. Let us now discuss the unification of another European country. This European country now we are going to discuss is Germany. Just like Italy, Germany was also divided into many states. There were 39 small states in Germany. And these states were led by Austria and Prussia, which were the two most powerful kingdoms among all German states. These states kept fighting among themselves, as a result of which Germany could not become a strong country. The king of Prussia, whose name was Kaiser William I, gave Bismarck Bismarck was a minister of Prussia. Bismarck did the duty to unite Germany under the rule of Prussia. Bismarck followed the policy of blood and iron to unify Germany. Learners, the policy of blood and iron meant that Bismarck used military power whenever needed to unite Germany, and even asked the parliament to increase the budget for military purpose. For this policy, he is even called as the Iron Chancellor. As the army became strong, Bismarck used it to unify the German states. Here it is important to understand that the different states of Germany were under the control of different countries of Europe. Let us learn how Bismarck was able to end the control of these countries over Germany. There was another state whose name was Schleswig. And another state was Holstein. Bismarck first asked the people of these two states to revolt against their ruler. The ruler was Denmark. Later in the year 1864, Bismarck took Austria's help to end rule of Denmark. After ending rule of Denmark over these two states, Bismarck focused to end the rule of Austria. Prussia defeated Austria and North German Confederation was formed. NGC is North German Confederation. This was formed. NGC was the union of 22 German states, which was formed in the year 1866. Bismarck was a very intelligent man. He used the policy of using one European country against the other. This led to disunity among them and gave the chance to German states to unite as one country. Let us see how he did this. During war against Austria, Italy did not help Austria because Bismarck had promised to give them the city of Venice. Later, Austria had to give Venice to Italy. In this way, the control of Austria over Italy came to an end. Thus, Bismarck was able to unite all the German states under control of Prussia. Only 4 states of southern Germany remained out of the Union of German States. However, later a war started between Prussia and France. Prussia attacked France in the year 1871 and defeated the French. The ruler of France, Napoleon III, gave up the throne. France was forced to give the region of Alsace and Lorraine to Germany. All the other remaining states were joined into one country of Germany. Only Austria remained out of this group. Thus, under the leadership of Kaiser William I, all the German states were unified. After its unification, Germany became a powerful country of Europe. And once Germany became politically and economically strong, it started increasing her military power also. In fact, Germany made many colonies. In this way, Germany became an important power of not only Europe but of the whole world. Let us now summarize what we have learned in this lesson so far. First, we discussed about the concept of Pope and the states of Italy. Second, we discussed about the unification of Italy under the leadership of Victor. Third, we discussed about the unification of Germany under the king of Prussia, Kaiser William I. Fourth, we discussed about the role of Bismarck in uniting Germany and Bismarck's policy of blood and iron. Dear learners, with this we come to the end of our today's lecture. I hope you now understand the concept of Italian and German unification. If you have any query, you can email us at signlanguage@nios.com. www.ncc.ac.in. For more information, you can visit our website www.nios.ac.in. Thank you so much.
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने, हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने।
सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो, धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े, वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो। मित्रों हम उठे और जागे,
राष्ट्रीय मुक्त विद्यालय शिक्षा संस्थान मानव संसाधन विकास मंत्रालय भारत सरकार का एक स्वायत्त संगठन है। 67वां गणतंत्र दिवस NIOS के लिए विशेष आयोजन का साक्षी रहा। यह आयोजन था एक सामाजिक सद्भावना के संकेत के रूप में। माननीय मानव संसाधन विकास मंत्री श्रीमती स्मृति जुबीन ईरानी ने दिव्यांगों को आमंत्रित किया गणतंत्र दिवस 26 जनवरी 2016 के परेड में सम्मिलित होने के लिए और इसके अवलोकन के लिए।
मेरा NIOS से विशेष निवेदन है, 26 जनवरी को NIOS के सौजन्य से ये स्पेशल विद्यार्थी विशेष रूप से दिल्ली आए और गणतंत्र दिवस की परेड में शामिल हों, उस परेड को स्वयं देखें। दिल्ली आएंगे? आना होगा ना सबका?
इन दिव्यांग शिक्षार्थियों के लिए दिल्ली में अशोक रोड स्थित YWCA में ठहरने का विशेष प्रबंध किया गया। NIOS द्वारा इन दिव्यांग शिक्षार्थियों को राजघाट दिल्ली, NIOS मुख्यालय और आगरा भ्रमण के विशेष प्रबंध भी किए गए। NIOS द्वारा इन दिव्यांगों के लिए राजपथ के 20 नंबर अहाते में परेड देखने के विशेष प्रबंध भी किए गए।
समस्याओं का इलाज शायद सिर्फ हमारे पास। NIOS पढ़ना लिखना सीखो वो मेहनत करने वालों, पढ़ना लिखना सीखो वो भूख से मरने वालों।
दूर दराज क्षेत्रों से आए इन दिव्यांग शिक्षार्थियों के चेहरों की रौनक और आंखों की चमक से खुशी और सौहार्द साफ सी झलकती दिख रही है।
NIOS के थ्रू हम लोगों को ये मौका मिला है कि हम लोग आगरा और दिल्ली की सैर कर सके। इस एक्सपीरियंस से हमारे बच्चे बहुत ही एक्साइटेड और खुश हैं और हमारी पूरी टीम मेंबर, हमारे प्रिंसिपल सर, सभी को ये मौका बहुत अच्छा लगा है और वो लोग सब खुश हैं।
अच्छा, एक बात बताइए, हमने किसी ने सुना कि आप मोदी जी से बहुत पास से मिले क्या? पहली बार मोदी ऐसे कर रहे थे? कितने पास थे? दूर थे? पास थे? ये ऐसे हैं? आपको बोला आंखों में देखा क्या? आंखों में देखा क्या? आंखों में देखा।
ये इंटरनेशनल टेबल टेनिस खिलाड़ी है। इन्होंने जहाँ गई है वो इंडोनेशिया गई है, जापान से खेल के आई है और इंडिया में कई एक जगह पे खेली है। तो वो अपना सारा एक्सपीरियंस ये साइन लैंग्वेज के द्वारा बताई है कि हम हर जगह पे जा रहे हैं और खेल रहे हैं। मैं बहुत खुश हूँ।
तो यहाँ आने के बाद लगता है कुछ और अलग ज़िंदगी मिल गया।
हमारे पेरेंट्स भी नहीं सोच सकते थे कि हमको ऐसा कुछ मिलने वाला है यहाँ, इसलिए मैं NIOS की बहुत ज़्यादा शुक्रगुजार हूँ और मैं इनसे हमारी एक रिक्वेस्ट है कि वो हमें और ऊंचा तक ले जाएं और जहाँ तक हमसे होगा मेहनत करना, हम मेहनत करने में से पीछे नहीं हटेंगे।
हमें दिल्ली आने में बहुत अच्छा लगा।
पाहो लालात थतुल मोहला चेना निकनो अलग ऐ टुक टुक चे।
We saw the Republic Day parade and the fighter planes and Assam and all the jhakias, and it was superb, it was brilliant. Yeah, even Prime Minister we met, we saw him, we shook hands with him. Now the third day, NIOS chairman office we have visited and we have met the chairman. And how do you feel? It was all good, right? Yeah, all of them are very thankful to NIOS for all the support that they do. Thank you.
NIOS के लिए ये सौभाग्य की बात है कि इतने सारे बच्चे जो दिव्यांग हैं वो यहाँ आए और इसकी शोभा बढ़ाए। कई बच्चों ने ये कहा कि उनके लिए सौभाग्य का अवसर था, लेकिन मेरा ऐसा मानना है कि NIOS के लिए ये सौभाग्य का अवसर था कि ये बच्चे समय निकाल पाए, इतनी कठिनाइयों के बावजूद यहाँ आए और इतने प्रसन्न हैं कि अपनी संस्था में वो आए हैं।
NIOS प्रतिबद्ध है समाज के दिव्यांगों के प्रति गुणवत्ता परक शिक्षा प्रदान करने की दिशा में।